One of the strangest stories about the Second World War has to be the events of the 4th of January 1944. War was raging across Europe and the world. And Germany was in that pivotal moment. It was 1944, January the 4th. They still had control of the whole of Western Europe, except for Great Britain. And there may have been opportunity to have won the war. But the events of the fateful day of the 4th of January 1944 subjected German people to more suffering, and Germany was doomed. What transpired, it was approximately 10:15, some people say 10:17 in the morning, and Adolf Hitler was sat down at his desk waiting for breakfast. Now, he preferred unusual breakfast cereals, and one of his favourites was Kellogg's cornflakes. Now, he'd been eating Kellogg's cornflakes for quite some time, and this one day, a big bowl of Kellogg's cornflakes was brought into him. Wasn't too keen on sugar, and it was a jug of milk placed on the table in front of him. He was all alone in his office. It's fairly quiet outside. No bombs were going off or anything like that. It was still a quiet Berlin before the hell of 1945. And as he poured the milk into the cornflakes, he held the spoon. He wondered if there was a way he could win the war. And he fantasized over the cornflakes, each individual cornflake, maybe being turned into a soldier. He thought, just think, if all these cornflakes could be turned into soldiers to fight in the war, that would be a solution. He sat down and thought, how mad is this idea? Crazy idea, really. You know, he went back to eating his cornflakes. Didn't have his glasses on. And as he continued to eat his cornflakes, his mind wandered to the Eastern Front problem, reality. Germany was in deep trouble. And he was so lost in his thoughts that he didn't hear the cats go on his door in his office. And slowly but surely, not one, not two, but 20 German officers with their adjutants came into his big room, his big study, all lined up in front of him. His mind drifted. Thoughts came back to the cornflakes, Kellogg's cornflakes, and each of these representing a soldier. And then, almost as if he just drifted right off, at that moment, he was aware that there were a group of individuals in his study. And he looked up from the cornflakes, and he looked around. And in German he said, "This is amazing. My wish has come true. Crazy wish." And all the soldiers, the officers and the adjutants looked bemused. He turned and said, "I wished for my Kellogg's cornflakes, to be turned into soldiers, and my wish has come true. The officers looked stunned. They didn't say anything. They didn't tell him he was wrong. Nobody would tell the Fuhrer that he was wrong. And if they had, it may have changed the course of history. But they didn't. Not one of them said the Fuhrer was wrong. The Kellogg's cornflakes hadn't turned into soldiers. He congratulated all the officers for appearing from nowhere. The tragedy is that the Germans went through great lengths to bring in boxes of Kellogg cornflakes and issue them to all the officers on the Eastern Front with the instruction, if you wish for more men, they will appear after eating the Kellogg's cornflakes. This was tragic. Adolf Hitler was under the misbelief that he could create armies from thin air, from Kellogg's cornflakes. It's no joke, really. In the last days of April 1945, Adolf Hitler would believe in armies and soldiers that would come to the rescue of Berlin. Armies created from each individual flake from a Kellogg's cornflake packet. So, this is how Kellogg's cornflakes won the Second World War, by the great deception that Adolf Hitler now believed. It's thought that the British government had put something in the Kellogg cornflakes ingredients, some kind of psychotropic drug. The truth may never have ever been known. More stories about history to come, but always be aware that true answers come from real events and real things, not from the box of a Kellogg's cornflakes packet. Thank you very much.